Alright, let's see. All right. Hi again. Is that better, you guys? Is it still doing the same thing? I hope not. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Sorry. I'm telling you, the live videos are a little better, but geez, trying to get this is the camera angle that I needed to be in order to film. So, it gets aggravating because when I go to hit live, it'll say that it's like that and then it won't be. So it shows that way for my phone, but it doesn't show that way for you guys. So now, like I was saying in the last one, I am going to put this as a live video and do a tutorial so that way you guys can ask questions while I show a demonstration of the DDF Nails AcryDip Kits. And then I am still going to do a pre-recorded upload because those are ones that I feel like if I wanted to reference back to it or anyone visiting a site wanted to reference back to it, they'll have a shorter video and not something that's like super long to try to follow, okay? So I'm going to jump right in because I know this is going to be long, but if you guys have any questions, can you put your questions in like caps lock? That way I know for sure I'll be able to see them and hopefully catch them. All right, so the first thing that you get when you purchase my kits are the instructions. And this is the basic instructions on using the DDF Nails AcryDip Kits. So this is something that you can definitely get off the website. You can download it off of the website just in case if for whatever reason when I package your order it is not included. Okay. Another thing that's included, these are all of the items. You're going to get your DDF Nails gel cleanser. And this is so that you can wipe off the inhibition layer of your top gel that's included. You can also use this to clean the nail bed. Now, with my gel system, it is best that you clean the nail, buff the shine off, and apply the base gel. I highly recommend our base gel because that's how you're going to get the best performance. Obviously, if you want to use another brand's base gel, you most certainly can. But I can't guarantee anything. That's just the way that works. I know a lot of people look at it like, oh, it's just another way to get money, but the reality is my stuff wasn't tested for someone else's system. It was tested for my own. I do offer a prep and primer set. For my gel, you do not need a primer. If you are a problematic lifter, then you definitely can use a primer. So we do have them available on the website. But I definitely recommend using a nail prep of some sort. This is just going to get the oils off of your nail bed. So one of the two. Hi, Sheila. So those are one of the two items that you can use. Again, primer is not necessary. My primer is acid free if you were to decide to use it. And any primer I recommend to anyone would be a non-acid primer. If you're really problematic with your lifting, then definitely you can use a acid primer. But neither of those are included in the kit, but I did want to let you know for those who had asked, can you use a primer with my system? You definitely can, but I rarely use a primer. I just dehydrate and prep my nail. Now, included in the kit are going to be 3 bottles. And these are going to be the builder polish. This is what you are going to use to apply your product to your nails. And you're going to get the clear builder. You're going to get a base gel. It's not going to have this sticker on it, but sometimes I'm moving fast and I don't read my labels. So this is a quick way for me to have things numbered or identified, basically. Like with my builder polish, as you can see, this one I put glitters on it, so I use this specifically for when I'm encapsulating glitters. So I personally keep two. I keep more than that around, but you guys know what I mean. But the three, the builder, the base, and you're going to get a top gel. This is the DDF Nails UV LED top gel. This one is called Shine On. This does have an inhibition layer. So the other one that's on our website does not. That's a no wipe top gel, and that will be the Radiant Shine top gel, okay? But these three, Shine On, base, and the UV LED builder gel is included in the kit, as well as the gel cleanser. You're also going to get a DDF Nails Cuticle Balm. Now, this is not recommended for clients. This is recommended for personal use. Personally, in the summertime, I prefer to have a balm in my purse, in my car, or wherever. Cuticle oil is just too messy. I love cuticle oil. I keep them everywhere. I keep them at work. I keep them at home. But a cuticle balm is a way for you to moisturize your nails on the go and keep it in your purse. And I would not recommend using this on multiple clients unless you're like going to scrape it out, because if not, that's cross-contamination. This is a personal use product. And you just open it up, you rub your finger in it, especially the first time you get it. You're going to have to work it a little bit, but once your finger starts to warm this up, it'll soften it up, and then you're good to go. I do this when I'm sitting at the light. Another thing that's included is the DDF Nails Confetti Soap. And I like this. It is sealed. I should have opened this up. But the purpose of this is so that afterwards, if you wanted to treat your client or yourself, you know, there's a lot of dust, you take this and you can put it in like a little glass dish with some warm water. And you do get a nylon brush in the kit. So both of these are included in the kit. You can take this, put the little soap in there, and brush your nails to get that excess dust off, and then go in with the cuticle balm to moisturize, and then your hands are ready to go for pictures. So that's what you would use that for. The nylon brush, you can also use this to get dust off of the nails as well. And then you will get a full-size new nail file as well as a buffer. I highly recommend anytime you use a nail file that you season it or score the edges, so that, hi Lady in Mauve, so that you do not cut yourself or a client. Now, the way to season it is you could just use a nail file. You can keep one nail file around that you can always just score the edges of. Not a nail file that you would use on multiple people. Just one nail file that you keep around just to score the edges. And I don't want to do that a lot because I know that sound could be trying on the ears, but you score the edges. See how it dulled that down? With nail files, you can easily slice somebody with it, and it hurts. Another thing with the gel cleanser you get are our DDF Nails gel wipes. These will actually be available. Hi Jacqueline, Costa Rica. All right. So you can use this with the gel cleanser to wipe the dust off of the nails, as well as this. You're going to get this, and it looks like a wooden little skewer. Someone told me it looks like a barbecue skewer. But you use this to push your cuticles back. If you're a newbie, I always recommend using the wooden ones because you will not damage your nail bed. This is a lot softer. And another tip that you can do is take this and some cotton balls. Let me show you guys. Like this. You can just roll this in a cotton ball. And you can use this to push the cuticles back. If you want to clean up under the nail, you can as well. And the cotton is just going to soften the sides of that. Okay, so that's another little tip. And you do get a nail buffer so that you can buff the shine off of the nail. And everything comes in this green organza bag. You guys know emerald green, white, and gold are the colors for my line. So that is everything. I believe that's everything. You're welcome. That's everything that's included in the kit. Again, the directions are included just in case if you ever get lost. But another thing, you guys, on my website, when you purchase the gel polish, the AcryDip, look under the description where you can actually click what you want, the directions, LED lamp wattages, UV lamp wattage, the times, the full description and direction is under the product. So if you ever get stumped, get lost, and I'm not answering an email immediately, always refer back to the website because that is on there. We do also offer our DDF nails nail oil, but I don't think this is on the website yet. There's a lot of things I need to update, but I told you guys before, you know, I am dealing with some things and trying to get a lot of stuff. I'm trying to catch up on a lot. So just to jump right in, this is the Poochie's Nail Realistic Practice Finger. This one is in Eva. Oh my goodness, how could I forget? In the AcryDip kit, another thing that's included is a 20-gram pot of the actual AcryDip powder. Duh. So this is the size, and this is included. What you would get a choice of is either N03, N02, or N01. That is a nude pink, or a nude peach color. This is N03, which is nude, and this is the one I'm going to use for Miss Eva over here. Let me show you guys what the other two look like, and I'll give you the recommendations for those. N01, N02. Okay. Let's hope I don't fall out my seat. The difference between the tacky and the no wipe is with the tacky layer, you can actually add stuff on it if you want. Some people, they just like to have that tacky layer. They like to be able to wipe it off. Hi, Scrumptious. Some people like to wipe it off. Tacky or non-tacky is really personal choice. Personally, I like to have both. And the reason I say that is because I like to do 2 coats of my top layer. I don't particularly like to double coat a no wipe top coat, but if you do 2 top coats of the one with a inhibition layer, the inhibition layer is sticky, so it's going to grab whatever else is on top. That's why I actually added this one in a kit and not the no wipe one. So it's really just personal choice. It's not a you have to have, but when I'm doing designs and stuff, I actually like to go over it with the top coat that has the sticky or inhibition layer. I do that first, and then my second layer is going to be the no wipe radiant shine. So that's just personal preference. Longer wear, some people they double coat, some people don't. Some people just do 1 layer of their top coat. I decided to do this one because again it has the sticky layer on top of it. Let me know if that did or did not answer your question. Yep, exactly. The reason why, Lady in Mauve, is because it does not, hi Fran, is because it doesn't have anything to stick to. And a lot of people actually do it. Another thing I'm going to tell you guys is, and I found that I really like to do this, whenever I have a matte top coat, sometimes I will apply this one, and then I'll go in with the no wipe matte. Okay, so it's really just about what, thank you. It's really just about what you want to do. So when I do designs, when I do stamping, because you guys know I love the stamp on top of gel, I noticed that if you try to do a stamp and then put a matte on top of it, matte gel will smear the stamping. So what I do is, if I want a matte stamp design, I will do my stamp design. I'll cap it with the inhibition layer top coat, which is the shine on for my line or any tacky layer you have, and then I'll apply the matte. So that way my stamp design does not get ruined and I can still have that thoroughly matte finish. So that's another thing that you guys can do as well. So hopefully all these tips will help you. Good, you're welcome. Trust me, do not try to stamp. It doesn't, I've tried waiting like 5 to 10 minutes and then go over it with the matte. It's something about matte gel that will grip that nail, and it will smear the stamp design. Typically with stamping and applying gel on top, I'll do my 2 coats of color. I'll take off the inhibition of the color. I'll stamp on top of that. And the reason why I do it is because I don't want my design to get ruined. So when I stamp on top of gel, the 2nd coat of color, I'll take that tacky layer off with a gel cleanser and a lint-free wipe. And then I'll go ahead, I'll do my stamp design. If you mess up while you're stamping, use a non-acetone remover to take the stamp off. Or you can sometimes even use, oh gosh, this looks horrible, but don't judge me. You can use a lint roller, and sometimes you can get the design off the nail. But most times just use a non-acetone nail polish remover to take the design off of the nail. And then you can go back in and restamp. Once you're satisfied with that stamp design, go in with your tacky layer top coat and then your matte top. And so long as you cap your top coats, none of them are going to chip. So that's that. That was a good question. I'm actually glad you asked that, because I probably wouldn't have remembered to go into detail as to why you can use either or both together. I personally feel like it's great to have both in your kit. So what's not included in the kit is this, which is a condiment cup, and this, which is a dampen dish. Let me get a clean condiment cup. This was sitting on my desk, so it's like dusty. You're going to take this and this. This little piece right here, the little spatula, is included in your kit. You're going to scoop some of your powder out and put it in your dampen dish. A lot of people will say doing the dip method is disgusting because it's cross-contamination. I'm just surprised that there are a lot of actual nail techs who do not know to use the dampen dishes. When we were in school, that was the first thing we were told. So even with acrylic, if someone's placing the monomer in a dampen dish, but yet they're taking that same monomer and their brush and putting it in a full container of acrylic, to me that's cross-contamination, because if that's the case, you might as well just take this and pour it right back into your bottle of monomer, because either way, you're still using that same liquid from someone else in the same community jar of acrylic. So whether you're doing acrylic or if you're doing dip, I highly recommend you take what you need out of the bigger container, close it up, put it away, and put it all in here and work like that. This should always be where you work from and never from your actual container. And when you do dip, you don't need a lot of product at all. Let me clean this out real quick with some alcohol. You don't need a lot of product. Even with acrylic, once you've been doing it for a while, you should know how much you need. All right, so I am going to go ahead and scoop some of this out. Hopefully you guys can see well. I just spilled this all over myself because these gloves are like super slippery. And I use these little spoons right here. They're from the Dollar Tree. Yep, that's true. But even with sprinkling, if you were to sprinkle the product back over top of the jar, it's still touching the skin around the nail. So basically like this is what you're trying to avoid, having any product touch that skin and go back into the container. Now let's be real, if you're doing your own nails, no one can tell you what to do in the comfort of your home. If you're home, there's no way you're going to say, oh, such and such told me not to put my finger in there, so I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? But when you're physically doing nails, this portion of your nail right here, this is the cleanest part of your nail. So even with cuticle oil, when you're applying cuticle oil, your tech should never be taking the actual brush from the cuticle oil and rubbing it on your hand, because technically that cuticle oil is cross-contaminated as well. Like you're cross-contaminating that as well, because it's still getting on the skin. Even though you moisturize it and all of that, but at some point throughout the service, you can like cut yourself or cut someone else. So even if you're doing your own nails at home and there's a possibility you might do sisters or someone else, just remember that it's best to just go ahead and transfer the product. And another thing that I sometimes do, I always do, I'm not even going to say sometimes, I have stacks of printer paper that I cut up and put in a drawer that there's not any dust or anything get into it, and I always put it under here. So that way, while I'm pouring, if anything was to fall on here, I can just take that and pour it right back in there and keep working. This is never going to go back into this container. Once you're done, this goes in the trash. You dump this out, you clean it. This whole thing goes in the trash. So that's why I always say you take this and place that inside of there. That way you can control all of your product and you're not wasting as much. But this is the this right here can still some kind of way, it doesn't matter how much sanitizing you do, but there's still a way to get some cross-contamination done. So I think someone else had touched on that. I think it's in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. They put the cuticle oil on the nail and they move backwards to get it. Now, truth be told, with cuticle oil in a brush, all you have to do is just take the brush, and I just like tap the brush. The oil is going to fall off of the brush. So you can still use cuticle oil for all of your clients. Just make sure the brush doesn't touch everyone's nails. That's all. But as I was saying, with this spoon, I get like a pack of them from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to take this, scoop it in there, and that's how we're going to work. I dropped this, but you're just going to close this up, put it away, because you're going to be filing and buffing and you don't want to get dust inside of that. Okay, so let me put this away, and y'all can see how messy I actually work. Because when I'm filming, it looks so neat and tidy. All right, now typically if this was a real nail, you're going to spray that hand down, and you're going to take the gel cleanser and wipe it down. But this is a practice nail, so I'm not going to do that. But you all know how to do a dry manicure or a typical manicure. If not, that's something we can touch on in another service. But you want to take your nail buffer and you're going to buff the nail in the direction that the nail grows. So normally you'll see like lines or grooves on the nail that go this way. You're going to buff or etch. That's called etching the nail. You're going to etch the nail in a manner that the nail grows. And then you're going to take your nylon brush, dust it off, wipe the nail again with a lint-free wipe and a gel cleanser, and then it's time to apply base coat. Okay. Also, another thing I would say, whether you're doing this on tips or if you're doing this on a regular nail, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure you get your shape correct. So you can start from your sides. Let's see, hopefully y'all can see this, but you start from your sides. Whatever you do on one side, you do on the other, and you're going to see some product flaking off. I have the peel off nail polish so that I don't have to keep soaking mine. Any of you that have the practice fingers, if you use this is going to okay, perfect, thank you so much. This is going to be the way that you can work on all of your fingers without having to constantly soak off. Or you can do the carpet tape trick that Poochie herself actually showed. So you file side to side, you get the tip together, because the whole purpose of dip is the fact that you don't want to have to worry about any major buffing and filing afterwards. This is still a service I find requires a little bit of technique, and I'm just not a fan of the resin. I personally just don't like it. It's basically nail glue, and the only time I like to use resin is when I'm putting stones on the nails, but that's it. All right, so I'm going to wipe all this dust off and get started. First application is going to be the base gel. The base gel, you're going to apply it to the nail very thin. And you're also going to do like a scrubbing motion. The base gel is going to act like a band-aid on the nail, and it's like double-sided sticky tape. So you're going to do like a scrubbing motion like this on the nail. And also with gel polish, never take your brush and go straight to the cuticle. Take your brush, place it prior to the cuticle, and push yourself back. That way it is close to the cuticle and not touching the cuticle. Let me see if I can get closer. Can you see that? So it's on the nail and you're pushing back. That's not touching the cuticle. So you can do a little scrubbing motion. If you have too much on the nail, then just do a brushing off. This is how you get, if you have too much gel on your brush, this is how you get it off. And make sure that you cover that nail really good with the base gel. Again, it does not require a very thick coat of it, just a nice thin, and that first time scrub that into the nail. If your brush slips and you get anything on the skin, you can either use your nail and take it off, or you can use this and take it off. Anytime you get gel on the nail, please make sure that you take it off of the, and any gel that you get on the skin, excuse me, make sure you take it off immediately. Do not leave that on there. Just like with acrylic, you can develop an allergic reaction to gel as well. All right. And remember, this is a realistic practice finger. It's not a real finger. So some things you can get away with on a practice finger that you can't necessarily get away with. I just want to make sure I covered this all the way. I have that peel off polish on there, so some of it may be on there in certain areas and sometimes it won't. I find that sometimes the product will pull away, so I just want to make sure that this is on there. That's not going to happen when you use a real finger, okay? So this is going to go in my LED lamp for 10 seconds. If you're using a UV lamp, then you're going to put it in there for a minute. And the lamp that I'm using is the Melody Susie black lamp. If you go back a couple videos, then you'll see that on there. So first layer, base coat, done. All right. Now what we're going to do is go in with our base layer of the clear builder polish while this is curing in the lamp. The reason why you want to do a single clear layer of the base gel without adding any of the AcryDip powder into it is because you may decide that you want to change that color out later. So if you want to file it down, you can, and you won't touch this portion of the nail. Because it is a soak off product, you could just soak all of it off. But even with a soak off product, most people want to refill, which is what I typically do, is just refill. So we're going to do one thin coat of this. And this is going to be the layer. See how thick this is? Our clear builder polish is also made so that it can build up the nail without adding any AcryDip powders to it as well. So this is the trick as to how my system works so well. It's because of this and the AcryDip combined together. Both are strengthening products. So that's going to allow you to have like that strength of an acrylic nail or the color all in one. Okay, now again with this, you're going to take the brush, push it up to the cuticle layer, and you're going to brush down. You're not building up the nail, and there is a hair on there. You're not building up the nail by doing this either. This is just your protective coat. If you were doing just the builder polish, you would do the same thing. You're just going to do this one layer, okay? So if you know how to paint your nails, where is this freaking hair coming from? I don't know where that's coming from, but it's irritating me. If you know how to paint your nails, for the most part, you can do a gel-based dip system. Make sure you cover the whole nail. Again, with your sides. I don't know why I do this to myself every time. Drink coffee to get pumped up the film and then my hands start shaking. Oh, another tip I would give you guys is to use your fingers as a rest. So this is typically how you will hold your brush, okay? You're going to use your 3 fingers here to grab the brush, and you're going to use your other hand to rest. That'll help you steady yourself as well. So sometimes it's the simplest, littlest things that you guys may not pay attention to, but stuff like that really does help you. It'll even help you get a better nail polish application. Just remember to rest that finger. Okay, so you're going to brush this on, excuse me, and don't forget to cap the tip. And most times when you're doing a nail, if you're doing someone else's nails, try to keep their fingers pointed down so that the gel isn't running back into the cuticle by having the nail up this way. It'll just allow gravity to work. With the clear builder polish, it is self-leveling, so that's another thing that's really going to help aid in getting this product on quick, fast, in a hurry, but also so that you will have less filing. Now, if you want, you can let this sit for a couple seconds, just let it finish self-leveling before you pop it in the lamp. This is going to be put in the lamp for 60 seconds, okay? You can do 30 to 60 seconds, but 60 seconds in an LED lamp. If you're using a UV lamp, you're going to do 2 minutes. Oh, and also make sure that you guys don't have any gel on the sides. I'm putting this in my Melody Susie. And now in the next 2 layers, 2 to 3, it really just depends. I had gotten an email on my website asking, when you do this, do you do 2 or 3? Typically, when I do the AcryDip method, I only do 2 colors of layer. 2 layers of color, because once you're done, this product by itself is what you're going to use to build the nail up. So that's the difference between mine and other ones. You still need to build the nail up. And with the resin-based systems, a lot of people complain because they're like, there's no way to build an apex. You can build an apex with this because it's a builder polish. All right, so this layer is cured already. And you're going to apply more gel. You do not need a lot of this. This is a newer bottle too, so it's really coming out. And don't shake your gels up, guys, because you add bubbles in them like that as well. Again, if you pick up too much, you can always brush it off. So apply this to the nail. Hopefully I won't start to focus and stop talking. I'm not good with that. I'm not good with talking and trying to pay attention to what I'm doing. And let me know if I get out of focus, you guys. I'm trying to make sure I look at the screen to see if there's any comments and do this all at the same time, all while trying to remember what I'm saying. All right. I wish I could pull this closer to me so I could see. Don't forget to tap. And again, you're not really worrying too much about shape and all that other stuff. You're really not, because you're going to refine your shape and buff later on if necessary. All right. So now what you're going to do on this one is add the powder. So you're going to take your spoon, put your nail over top of the damping dish, and you're going to turn the nail from side to side. And you're just going to sprinkle this over the nail. Now what you're going to do is tap the finger. Another thing you can do is turn the finger over and tap it. You want to check this nail. If you see anything that's shiny, the first thing you need to do is get more powder. And as you can see, you still have that self-leveling action. If you were to take this finger and dip it inside of the powder, you're going to disturb the gel, and the gel is going to get pushed back. So you're just going to destroy everything that you just took the time to do. So if you apply the gel very neatly on each layer, just remember at the end, that's less work that you're going to have to do. So you want to double check the nail, make sure there's not any shiny spots. If you see any shiny spots, you take the powder and just sprinkle it on. And as you can see, everything's going right back where it needs to be. I'm working very clean and sanitary. So the whole dip powder is, look, if a company tells you that's how to do it, the best thing I can tell you guys is once someone else tells you a better way to do it to keep yourself safe and your clients safe, go ahead and do it that way. You absolutely do not need to dip your finger in there. I don't know where this hair, I think that's that peel off nail polish coming up. All right, so what we're going to do now is tap the finger. If there's any loose powder, once we take this out of the lamp, we're going to use our nylon brush for that, okay? So this is going to go in the lamp for 90 seconds. The reason why this is going in your LED lamp for 90 seconds, if it's a UV lamp, you're going to do 3 minutes, is because you added color to that gel. So it's going to mess with the curing time. So you need to go ahead and do 90 seconds. I particularly use a lamp that has a low heat mode. When you're working with gel, you can get a heat spike. That's just the gel doing what it needs to do, especially in an LED lamp. With a UV lamp, sometimes you can eliminate that. But before you go sticking the whole finger in there, you take your hand, say this is the lamp, right? You're going to take your finger and you're going to turn the lamp on for 5 seconds. Just sit the nail in front of the lamp. After that 5 to 15 seconds, whichever you're comfortable with, after that, then you put the lamp in there. So it's going to allow the lamp to slowly start to cure the gel without giving it that full power. If you don't have a low heat mode lamp, that's what you want to do. I have one, so I'm going to just pop this in there for 90 seconds. And as y'all can see, it's still, the nail, the shape still looks really good. You can go in with any gel polish color you want. If you wanted to stamp, if you wanted to just do this as a base for anything, and this is any color you can do this with. If I were to use gel polish with this, I personally would use like a nude base, and that way, if you get tired of the gel polish, you can always file it or buff it off, and then you still have something going on underneath it. So that's what I will recommend, but it's really up to you. This still has a couple more seconds. If you guys have any questions, just let me know while I'm still waiting for this lamp to to time down. And really, if you watched any of my other tutorials, it's pretty straightforward. It's the same thing. But I know I had a lot of people order my kit, and obviously you want to see someone use their own stuff. So I definitely get it. Couple more seconds, and then we can do this. Before I forget, we're going to have to start wiping that extra dust off of the nail. So you want to take this and move it out of the way so that you're not getting that in the powder you're working off of. And you'll see it. See how dusty the finger is? So you're just going to, or really you can use that, or you can do what I like to do. I just keep an acrylic brush around, a brush. What is wrong with me? I use an acrylic brush and I label it. This is my duster brush. This is what I use for this. And I'm just going to dust this off. It is some hair or some, oh, sorry guys, I'm all out of frame. It's some hair or something. This is getting on my nerves. I had to take that off. I don't know where it's coming from. But this is what you need to be concerned with. The reason why is because what you don't want is to go ahead and put this builder gel brush back on the nail and pick up powder and put it back in here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you wipe the nail off before you go in with the next layer. And after you've wiped the nail off, you're going to go in with your next layer. And you're just painting it on. That's why I tell you guys, yes, it is so, I don't know why or where it's coming from, but I'm going to tell you what, you will notice with my actual gel polish colors, our gel polishes have a inhibition layer that's just enough to grip the next layer of color, and I never ever have to really worry about hair like that getting on there. Some of the gel products you use, they have a really sticky inhibition layer, so that hair just gets attracted to it. And you know what, there is a fan, I think that's where it's coming from. It's a fan right over top of my desk. I don't know whether or not you guys can hear it, but the vent, excuse me, not a fan, it's a vent right over there. So I think that's what's the issue. And I'm trying to see, guys, shouldn't take this long to paint it, but you want to paint this on. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm taking my brush and I'm wiping it off. Okay, so if you ever find that you have too much gel product on, especially when you get to these sides, don't put that brush there. Wipe that brush off first, because it'll help you not have it running into your side walls. Okay, so you get that on there and cap it. Now what I'm going to do is take a lint-free wipe my brush off, and then put it back in there for good. Okay, and throw that in the trash. So as you can see, this self levels just fine. This is our last color layer. And you guys, if you do a black, then you need to let that cure, I would say like 120 seconds, because the black is really pigmented. But for these, just do the 90 seconds and you're good to go. And again, we're going to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you wipe to remove the dust from the brush? Yes. The extra powder that you might be picking up, that's why you're doing it, because you don't want that to build up inside the gel product. So I always do that. And you guys do know you can do this with regular acrylic powder, but you need to test it first before you commit to a full set of doing it. And the reason I say that is because dip powders are more finely milled. So with regular acrylic, it'll have like a grainy look. That's not to say you can't still do it, but it will have a grainier look as opposed to a smoother look. This should just look like you painted the nail like this, okay? And again, make sure that you are checking the nail. If there are any shiny spots, like there was a shiny spot over here, cover it with powder. You should be moving the nail side to side. And then tap. Tap the nail, double check everything. And then you're going to go ahead, again, put this in a lamp for 90 seconds, but do not stick the whole hand in there if you do not have a low heat mode lamp. Put it in front of the lamp for like 5 minutes. 5 seconds. Oh, geez. And also, do y'all see how that looks? It's not a super thick nail either. So let's get this in the lamp. And let me know if y'all like these type of videos. I really don't mind filming them more often. It'll get videos up faster for you all. But let me know if you like this way. I can do a mixture of both. I don't mind doing it this way because I feel like there's a lot of things I can go over without feeling so rushed and cutting out so much. With the pre-filmed videos, I try to make them very short. So, yay, perfect. All right. So I'll definitely start doing more of these. I'll probably have to, if I'm going to do them, I'll probably have to like start committing to doing them on Sundays. Hi, Sue. Hey, Sue. I think you were one of the ones asking about it. So I hope if you have any questions, please let me know. And I am more than happy to help. Thank you, Scrumptious. Thank you. Yay. Okay, good. So see, I figured I was thinking about it. And y'all can thank my husband because he was like, babe, why don't you just do it live? And I was like, that's a good idea. I like that. So he and the kitties are at home and I am at work on Sunday. I'm sure they've probably tuned in at some point. He hasn't called me yet, so he probably has been on here. Hi, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good. So I'll definitely do that. It's okay. I've gotten used to starting to call all of my family members Flawless, Papa Flawless. Today is Papa Flawless. So today is my daddy's birthday. 3 days ago was Mama Flawless' birthday. And if you're not following our Instagram, oh, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a code. Everyone that's watching this live, I'm going to give you guys a code. This code is going to be only for this video, where you can get 15% off of the site after this video. Yes, I'm going to do that. Thank you, Lady and Mauve. I will definitely tell him. You know, he had told me one day he was going to come down and film a video with me. Like, he was going to film me while I work. Lord. I told him it is not as easy as he think, but that's my daddy. Yes, today is his birthday. 3 days ago was Mama Flawless, and I did a sale on the website for her, but it was only on Instagram. So if you guys are not following my Instagram, please follow it. Okay, Lady and Mauve, I'm sure he'll be excited. Please follow the DDF Nails Instagram. Which one, Ida? This one right here. This is an acrylic brush, but it does look like an eyeshadow brush. I had an eye make. This one is my makeup brush. So if you really want a good one for the dip, use the e.l.f. contour brush. This will get all up in that nail, okay, and get all the dust off. So yes, makeup brushes or acrylic brushes. I really like makeup brushes. The reason why I like using makeup brushes is because they're used for powder anyway. So when you use an eyeshadow brush, it's applying powder. So I found that, to me, it's the best one to take off the powder on the nail. So you guys can definitely do that. Oh crap, this one had glitter in it. See? And keep your glitter brushes and products separate. So this one going to have a little sparkle to it, but oh well. All right, so this one is cured. The second layer of that is cured. And now if you are going to build up the apex, which I highly recommend that you do, this is what we're going to use it with, not any more of this. Okay, you're going to take this and put it away. Technically, you probably would have finished it. If I was doing a whole hand, this would be done. I would have like a dusting of this left over. But another thing I would tell you guys, what I'm going to end up doing is probably dumping this in this condiment cup. These have lids, and I'll probably save it to use for any other of my practice fingers. So that's what I do. So if you have any left over and you do a lot of practicing, you could always just reuse this for your practice hands, but I'm not going to use that for that. I'm going to put it out of the way, and we're going to start working on building up this nail. So the first thing you want to do is put a thin layer down of this, and again, you're going to take the brush, place it on the nail, and push the product backwards. That way you're not flooding the cuticle, okay? And you're going to get a thin layer of this. You are going to go in more. I'm still here right now. You doing all I need to learn and still figuring out. Whoop, hold on. The comment disappeared. Let me see. Let me try to read that again, because I want to make sure I'm answering questions. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the tablet rewinding. What? I didn't know you could rewind while you're watching this. Oh, okay, let's see. I'm still here right now. Oh man, trying to see the question. Crap, I missed the question. Let's see. Let me see if I tap the screen if I can find them. Oh my gosh. You know, during the lives, these go by so fast. Like, the questions pop up so fast. But basically, you all, I just want to make sure that I'm doing things that are beneficial to you so that you can have what you need and it's helping you out. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants one's videos that they're not going to learn anything from. All right, so I'm going to take this and finish putting it on there. A thin layer. You don't need a lot because we're actually going to go in with more gel. But you're going to use this and apply it everywhere, all over the nail where that color was, okay? You want to make sure you encapsulate, because this is going to not only build up the nail, but it's going to encapsulate that color as well, so that you do not go filing and buffing the color off that you just did. So make sure you get that. See that nail polish is peeling off because I've buffed and filed the nail. I can't even turn the radio on because they'll ding me. All right, cap the nail. Oh, that's fine, Sheila. So now that we have this, I'm still here right now. All you need to do is learn and still figure out this after why should she be nailed too. See how fast I had to read that? Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah, that was like one of those. Thank y'all. Y'all are the best. Yes, monitor those comments and stuff. Thank you. That was so helpful. I don't want to miss the comments. So you know what? If I do miss something, and I don't touch on it, just go ahead and keep reposting it. I'll end up eventually seeing it because I'm looking down and looking up again. All right. So now that we have this layer on, right? This is going to be like your slip layer is what I'll call it. This is going to guide the rest of the gel on the nail where you want it to be. So now what you're going to do is take and start to build up the nail. You can get a thicker amount of gel on there. And as you can see, this ain't falling off. Oh, y'all sound like me trying to figure out phones and stuff. This isn't just going to go falling off, so it gives you time to work with it. You want to take it, and I'm going to turn this to the side so hopefully you all can see it. You're going to, let me see, am I in frame? You're going to take this and press it on the nail. And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but the gel is actually just, it's all here. It's still connecting, and it's just floating. That will be the quickest and fastest way I would tell you all to build up the apex, because now you can just turn the nail over and let the apex build up on its own. Or another thing you can do, if you're not comfortable with that, you can take this and you can do like that little motion, like I call it the windshield wiper motion. You can do that, but I sometimes find that this can create bubbles. But this is another way that you can encapsulate the nail and just get everything on there, because gel I find to be a lot easier to work with, because you just need a very light touch. See, I'm not even really touching it, and the gel is just following. I keep it connected so that I don't get a lot of bubbles. Now, another thing you can do is just keep painting it on until you get the nail built up the way you want it to. So if you wanted to, you could just take and paint this on. Obviously, I'm putting more gel on. Yeah, the dragging can definitely be confusing, Sheila, but just remember, it does take a little bit longer. But if you have to do this, if you just have to keep painting your layers on to build it up, then you most certainly can. But this is also a cheat way of being able to do gel nails and building up the nail, because you have those 2 layers of color already. So technically the thickness is there. You just want to make sure that you're forming the nail so it doesn't snap or break on you. I wouldn't do really long nails. I would do more like an active length or a little bit longer than that. So you can do this. You can do any of those methods I just showed you. But again, you want to just check the nail. If there are any dips, let the gel work for you. Just kind of let it start to fall off on the nail. And hopefully y'all can see this. I hope it's really picking it up, but it's all still connected. It's all still connected, right? And the apex of your nail is like right here. That's the layer that right there is where you want to get that nice thickness, because it'll snap. You don't really need the tip super thick, because truth be told is a waste of product. You're going to end up filing and buffing that down. This is the area right here that you're building up. So with gel, it's actually very forgiving, because if you need to, if you wanted to like maybe freeze this, then you could just take this, but as you can see, it still hasn't run into cuticles or anything, and I've put in a lot of gel on this nail. It still hasn't run into the cuticle yet. But if you're working and you kind of get the nail the way that you want, you can technically freeze this, which is called flash curing, for 5 to 15 seconds in the lamp, and then you can go back and keep working and building that nail up and just keep freezing those layers. And then once you're done, you do a full cure. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Let me just see if there's anything I would need to build up. I always say with gel, when in doubt, just add more, because it files down so easily. You don't really have to worry about it. You don't want to start filing and then you done hit that bottom layer under it. So I always tell people to add a little more. Just make sure the more gel that you add. Okay, now it's starting to move to the side. So let me go ahead and turn. You can turn your nail over to pull that product from the sides as well. All that talking I did, and it just now started making its way to the side. So you can do this. You can turn it over and wipe and make sure that you get off anything that's on the sides. Yeah. So that is great. Let me just see, because Lord, it's so hard to try to see around this ring light. Let me just add a little more here. See a little dip. Probably going to end up filing and buffing this off anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, and another thing, you guys, if you wanted to add glitter, if you wanted to use this as a base, right, that layer that we just did, that thin layer, you could start adding your glitter. And I normally use these little silicone pieces, right, these little brushes, the little silicone, you can use these for molding gel and all kinds of stuff, but I would take this, get a little bit of gel on it, and then take my glitter pieces and start placing them on the nail, on that first slip layer. That's what I would do, and then I would encapsulate it with all these layers we just did, so then you could have a full on glitter nail. But I'm gonna do a glitter nail application later. Not tonight, but in a later video. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this inside the lamp so we can cure it and start working on our filing and buffing. This is going to go in the nail lamp for 90 seconds. Another trick, you guys, I don't know if you can see these bubbles, but that's because I overworked that gel. Typically, I would have been done with this by now if I wasn't talking. But I have I don't know where my tool is, but I actually have a tool that I purchased. What is her name? I forget what her name is, but you can kind of pop those bubbles. See this? I got this from like Five Below, but this is a super, super, super thin dotting tool. If you have bubbles in your gel, if you take this and press it in the gel, it'll like move those bubbles out of the nail. So it's very noticeable when you do like glitter. So if you ever have, just do what I'm doing. If you ever have gel that has bubbles in it, and especially if your design needs to be super transparent, just go ahead and do what I'm doing, which is just popping those bubbles out. Or sometimes you can even move them out of the nail by just going like that, okay? So hopefully that's something else that can help you guys, because I know a lot of people really don't know how to work with gel like that, and it can be confusing, but I find gel to be one of the funner mediums to play with, I guess. Let me wipe this off. All right. And right now this is sitting in the lamp. So just gonna wait for that, and I'm gonna actually start cleaning up some while I'm waiting for that to finish curing. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Don't mind answering them. That's why I'm doing it like this. Yeah, you know what? When you're soaking off gel, and if it's a soak off one, do the same way you would with acrylic. Technically, just get you a 100-180 grit file and start filing that gel down. The more you file off, the less you have to soak off. So I can soak off a set of gels in like 10 minutes. Oh, you know what I've been using? Let me show you guys. So acrylic and gel. both of them, you want to file off as much of that product as you can. Don't hit the natural nail. Get as close to the natural nail you can. So that way hi Violet. So that way you're not soaking in that acetone for a long time. And another thing I want to tell you guys, before I soak my nails in acetone, hi Sunny, what I do is put a lot of cuticle oil around my cuticles, because that acetone can wreak havoc on our nails. So I like to use a lot of oil on my nails when I am soaking off. But look, you guys, I got this quick and easy gel polish nail polish remover. This is like the gel polish steamers. I got this from Walmart. This thing works so good. I used it for gel and I used it for acrylic, and it soaked them off like a dream. It took like 10 minutes. It was nothing. Pushed that, and I soaked off acrylic, pushed it right off. I soaked off gel polish on my natural nails. All of this was on my natural nails, and this was acrylic with tips. Soaked it right off. I just clipped them down. Even with gel, you want to clip down. Hey Shay, how are you, my love? You want to just clip them down to your natural nail length. If it's your natural nails and you don't want them that length anymore, clip your nails down to the length that you want, so that way you're not doing, yes, I'm actually getting ready to get into a little bit of that, I guess you can say, with the nail now, because we're actually due to start filing and buffing. So hopefully that'll answer some of the questions. But to be honest, it's one of those things you got to kind of get in there and feel your way around. Everything with nails is like, once you've done it for a little bit, it like clicks. Once you've been doing it, you kind of know what to look for. You know how sometimes you can go to like get a massage and they're like, oh yeah, I feel those knots, and you don't know what they're talking about. It's like they could be telling you anything, but after a while it kind of clicks and you know what they're talking about. So it's the same thing with that. All right, so now you guys, this is out of the lamp. We're going to take off the inhibition layer. So I'm going to use my gel cleanser and my DDF Nails lint-free wipes. Let me find my little thing so I can rest this hand on it and it's not picking up dust and stuff from. We can use that. The confetti soap is going to be our nail rest. So I'm going to get some gel cleanser on this, and we're going to wipe off the inhibition layer, because the DDF Nails, the builder polish, does have an inhibition layer, right? And if you wanted to use this as a top coat, you most certainly can, just to let you all know. As you can see, it's like, see how shiny it is? Yeah, just soap. I think you might have missed the beginning part, but basically you would want to use this after your service with a metal dish like this and some warm water, because you know, once you get done with your filing and buffing, there's dust and stuff. You can just use your nylon brush and just with that soap and water scrub the nail so that you get that dust off, and then apply your cuticle balm so you can take your pictures of your nails you just did. But don't use the cuticle balm on anyone other than yourself. That's just a little thing for yourself. So that's what the confetti soap is for. So we've taken the inhibition layer off. There's no sticky layer now. Get all the dust off the nail, off the hand. And Lady and Mauve, I don't know how much you missed, but like I said, the kits, they do come with instructions. And the instructions are also on the website, so you can always download them, okay? So these are the instructions. And the application, the nail prep is on it, as well as any tips. I do have tips on there as well. All right, so now we're going to start filing. Again, you want to start from, hi Violet. You want to start from the side. And I do have a peel off polish on under this, so let's hope this does not peel off when I am doing this. Another thing, I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but my thumb is holding the nail down. Sometimes with clients, that can be uncomfortable when you're filing and you're going like this. See how that nail is moving back and forth with the file? That is so uncomfortable. So I'm just holding the nail like this so it's not moving around as much. And then whatever you do for one side, you do for the other. You really shouldn't have that much filing and buffing to do, but you guys know I was showing you the different ways to apply the gel, so the gel just kind of built up. So you start with your sides, and then you're going to start with working your sides with your nail file. So you're going to take the nail file and start working down the sides. You're still not touching up here yet. That's also how you're going to build your nail up. I think on one of my Shiba nails, protein. Yes, it is a lot. Lady and Mauve and I were having a conversation on Instagram, and she was asking about nail primer and dehydrator, protein bond, and all of that, and what do you need and how much do you need and all of that. To be honest, guys, there is a such thing as over prepping the nail. So if you find a product that works for you, whether it's mine or another company's, whatever, if you don't have to use a primer, don't feel the need to use a primer, because a primer is just going to be another layer of product on your nail that's going to keep the gel, or the gel particularly, because with acrylic, and you do need primer with acrylic, I find. There are primerless acrylics and monomers where they say you don't particularly need to use a primer because it's already built into the system. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I'm filing, and this nail file, the marks are only on this one side. So you need to know how to be very controlled. And also another thing you guys may not be noticing, but I am pulling the skin back so that I'm not fouling the skin. This isn't a fouled nail, that's just dust. Yeah, you don't want to over prep. Just make sure you do like I said. So you take the gel cleanser, wipe the oils off of your nail after you've prepped your nail, meaning you did a dry manicure. You don't want to soak your nails in water prior to acrylics, press-on nails, gel, or any extension, because your nail bed you don't want your nail bed to be soaked in water. That's another thing that can cause issues. You can wash your hands with soap and water just fine. Just don't put lotion on, because that's adding oils to the nail bed. And then after you do a dry manicure, you get that extra cuticle off of your nail and you get everything done. Then you want to take a nail file, or you can use a 100/180 grit. You're going to use the 180 grit side of the nail, and you're going to go like this. So you're prepping the nail bed by the same way that your nail grows this way. You're going to etch the nail that way. Once you're done etching, use your gel cleanser and wipe the nail off. Now, if your gel cleanser has a scent in it, that's another thing that could aid. So you just want to use 99% alcohol, nothing else. So that could help, but definitely over prepping the nail, because everything that you put on the nail is going to be basically another layer between your nail bed and the gel. So that's why it should just be 99% alcohol. Put that gel base down, and then start putting your builder gel or whatever other product you're using. Now I'm going to start working my way around the cuticle area. Again, you should be trying to pull that skin back, and you should feel the nail file on your finger, so that way you know you're not cutting your client. And move your nail file around. My favorite nail files are typically the ones that look like the little moon shape, like this. This is an E-Nail Couture nail file that I use specifically for like this stuff, but you can do these ones as well. Just make sure you etch them real good. But again, I find that with e-filing, you can accidentally take the product down too fast. With a hand file, you are more controlled, and you can really get in there like you need to. Now that you've done that side, you want to work your way around the cuticle. As you can see, I've adjusted my hand and the nail file, and you're going to start working your way down this side, because again, this is all helping to aid in building the shape of that nail. You're really just worrying about getting that cuticle flush, and I'm not going like this. The nail file is actually going in one direction. It might seem like it, but it's not. And if you're left-handed, I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you probably do things in a reverse, whichever feels comfortable. And you can also, yep, that's the same way I feel, Shay. It's easier to get around that cuticle without cutting myself or a client. But I don't take clients. You guys know that. I gave up that client life with makeup. So you're, again, see how we took, can you guys see how the cuticle is more flush and then it raises up here? All of this is going to be evened out. But you're working on getting that cuticle flush, because when it grows out, yes, Lord, and it's enough. You're working on getting a cuticle flush so that when it grows out, you don't have to worry about any lifting either. So filing and buffing is actually crucial in trying to prevent lifting as well. That cuticle area. Thank you, Ida. All this extra gel I'm filing off and talking makes it so much longer, but I would rather do it like this and then do a pre-filmed one so that you guys' questions are answered, okay? Now I'm just going to go under here, here again. And now I'm going to start working on the top of the nail, which means I'm just taking the nail file and moving down, okay? And you'll start to see what you need to work on. This nail tip is way too thick. That should not look like that. So you got to start taking and moving it down. And I hope that this sound doesn't bother y'all too much, because I know it can be a lot, or it can sound like annoying, like a chalkboard. But I'm just working on getting that tip file down. And I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I'm knocking this product down very easily. This is so easy to file, which is it's a good thing, but it can be a bad thing if you're heavy-handed. So don't get heavy-handed. You need to file, stop, check your sides. File, stop, check your sides. And then once you really get into filing and stuff, you're going to get obsessive with it. So sometimes you'll just keep going and going, and you got to tell yourself, all right, let me just stop before I don't have anything. And I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but I have yet to make it down to those layers of dip powder that I had done. So that's why I said the trick in this is the builder polish, because you can build that nail up, you can get the color on, and you can still build the nail up. You can still get an apex. You cannot do that with a resin-based system. And believe it or not, I love, can you write that again? Oh my God, I just missed your question, Shay. I actually like filing. I find it to be, I don't know, soothing. Sometimes I find that I zone out while I'm doing my filing. That's why I like my pre-recorded videos, because I most of the time do a voiceover. Because when it gets to this part, even though I'm just doing a practice hand, I don't know, it's very calming to me, if that makes sense. I like it. But yeah, with an e-file, I could have knocked this down real quick. I think Shay, I caught the beginning of it. She said she's scared of her e-file. And e-files can be scary, especially if you do not know how to use it. You can do some damage real quick. Just know that you should be using your e-file on the lowest setting possible. It should never be high power, and you should be using a tickling motion. So when you use your e-file, you go like that. That's what you're doing with an e-file. All right, I'm about to stop filing this because I will go forever and a day. But yeah, see that, guys? Can you see that? If my head wasn't knocking this ring light, I could really get into it. And I don't want to pull the nail too close because then you guys won't be able to see. But okay, so you get the gist. We are filing and getting this knocked down. Now, one thing I'm scared to use the e-file, especially with myself in my non-dominant hand. I prefer hand file, and I have the Cooper system and all the bits. Okay, let me show you a trick. When I use my e-file, right, and I'm using my non-dominant hand, which is my left hand, one, I take my hand, relax it, and I take my hand and get it close to my my sides. So that's the way that I am going to use it. And also remember, when you're using your nail file, your e-file, that it has a forward and a reverse button. That's so that you can have the bit going in the direction for your non-dominant hand. Another thing you need to do is get a grip on that file, that e-file, so it's not slipping. You'll know if you need to be in forward or reverse, because what's going to happen is you're going to put that on the nail and it's going to slip and it'll go around. So one, always use safety bits. Two, always have it on the lowest setting. Get your arm tucked into your side so like you're really comfortable. And then, as you can see, I'm using my hand and I'm resting. So I'm holding it with these 3 fingers. This finger is out and it's resting. So every finger that I'm using to file, so if I'm filing this thumb, it's resting on that finger. And I'm just using it, okay? Let me turn it on. Is it plugged up? Yeah, it's plugged up. See? And I'm putting this e-file on a glove. It's not cutting through it, okay? That's how you should do it. Now with this one, turn your hands the way that you need to. Turn it the way you need to. And again, that's the way you can do it with an e-file. You got to be able to turn your hands. But my hands aren't shaking or anything because I have them tucked to my side. Sometimes I tend to hold my breath too. But you just very light pressure with an e-file. That's what I would do if I was using my non-dominant hand. I used to hate doing my other hand, and I still do, because no matter what, it's still going to take longer. It's not the hand you're naturally doing things with. But that's how you can e-file with your non-dominant hand. All right. And I don't want to keep filing this because I would have been done with this if I was doing this any other time. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead, brush this off. You're welcome, love. Not a problem. Thank y'all for the questions. All right, let's get this off so we can check. And you'll know if you file too close to the nail or not, because you're going to see like a hole in your color. Let me get my buffer. This does come with the kit. Look at how dusty my gloves are. And you're going to buff, okay? And you're going to buff to smooth out all that filing that we did. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to get them sides. Hold the nail so that it's not jerking back and forth like that. Hold the nail. Get the sides. I love these practice nails, but I think I'm so used to knowing what to do on a real client that sometimes I feel like I'm working backwards. This nail polish. Okay, see guys? Remember, you can definitely over buff and over file, so just be mindful of that. Now, what I was going to tell you guys is I use my e-file no matter whether I'm doing press-ons, full set, or what have you. I always do this little trick. Hopefully my cell phone is focused, and I take this and I go under the nail. Even if this were a natural nail, I would do it. This is going to basically, and this is just at the tip of the nail, okay? This is going to kind of lock in that real nail into, if you had on like a glued on tip, or if you sculpt it and you did like a overlay on your natural nail, this is kind of going to lock them two in place, and this will actually help with preventing chipping of the products as well, but also thinning out. So sometimes you don't want to worry so much about thinning out the top of the tip. Just go underneath. That way you still have the strength that you need, and you're going to get a nice little curve going on. So that's what I do. That's pretty much probably the only thing I use my e-file for at this point, because I really do like hand filing. Now, sometimes I'm just going to whip that e-file out because I don't feel like doing all that hand filing. It can be a toll on the hand. So I think that knowing how to use your e-file is still great, because you do not want to wear your wrist out. It's all about working smarter, not harder. And I do like hand filing. It's very soothing, but that constant moving of the moving of the wrist can tear your wrist up. So just be mindful, especially if you're a nail tech. I don't know what that was. All right, guys. So now that we've done that, we can take a... You're welcome, friend. I'm actually enjoying myself doing this. This, I think, is like the first time I've ever done a live demo. Yes, Sheila, unfortunately... I think everyone who started out in nails can definitely say they've done the same thing. It is practice, but if there's someone that you know and trust that actually teaches lessons on the e-file, mastering that e-file can be such a lifesaver, because it will really save your wrist. You can prep the nail, you can do everything with an e-file if you know how to use it properly. All right, so I'm taking all of the dust off the nail, and now it's time to go in with your top coat, okay? Now, there's a thing. You can stop here. You can put some nail polish, gel polish rather. If you're going to go in with gel polish, you can go in with your coats of gel polish, 2 coats of gel polish in your top coat, or you can do exactly what I'm going to do right now, which is go in with my top coat. Make sure you get all that dust and stuff off the nail, off the sides of the nails and everything else. And to be honest, if I was working on a client and I had these gloves on, I would be taking these gloves off right now and switching them for a fresh pair so that I don't get any dust or anything inside the nail. That's what I would actually do. And the gel polish that comes with this is this one. This is the DDF Nails UV LED Top Gel in Shine On. It's just as shiny as our new... Oh, thank you so much, Volley. Yes, I definitely will. I'm going to have to try to start doing them earlier. I know everyone has dinner times and everything else. But the best part about it is at least you guys can play this back. But I really enjoyed myself doing this. Like I said, I am still going to do the pre-recorded video for you all, just so that it's a shorter version and it's a great reference, just in case you're in the middle of the night and you're up doing nails or something. So I'm using the Shine On. And I'm going to use my hand to rest, my finger to rest. And I'm just going to get this on, push it back. Always start back here and push back. And then just paint this on, okay? Same thing here. Make sure you don't have a lot of product so it's not flooding the sidewalls and your cuticle. And get y'all some practice fingers too. If you really want to practice e-filing and stuff, get one of these. Plenty of people selling them. Y'all know I support Poochie, but whoever you decide to get them from, but I do think it would be a great investment. I should have applied more product on the side right there. But I'll be so worried about messing up this hand, I don't try to put my products too close to there. But if that was a human, you will want to make sure that that product is applied everywhere it's supposed to be. Okay, so you want to paint your top coat on. Just double check, make sure you got everything on there the proper way. And like I said in the beginning, for those of you who are just joining, we had a question as to what's the difference between a tacky layer top coat and one that does not. The difference is you have a inhibition layer, so you can add on top and it's going to stick. Sometimes with no wipe top coats, they'll chip because there's no inhibition layer once it's cured. So you're going to take this and put this in your lamp for 30 seconds if you're using an LED lamp, 2 minutes if you're doing a UV lamp. Let me go ahead and put this in my lamp, and then I would actually go ahead and come back and do another layer. And then after that, we're pretty much done, you guys. I don't know if you have any more questions. If so, let me know. I don't mind answering them. If you have any other ideas for videos, let me know. I have a couple. I'm just reading off of my board that I have here. I will be doing how to apply the glitter mixes with the DDF Nails, the builder polish. That's going to be a demo that I'll be doing, and I can definitely do that as a live demo next Sunday if you want. I have to do a couple fall press-on nail sets and the dip tutorial on Eva. Oh, I'm filming that now. Glitter encapsulation, yes ma'am. Where's my other finger at? See? All of this are DDF nail products. This is the DDF nails. This is all done with the gel polish and the builder gel. Do you see how thick that is not? See that? A lot of people say, oh, nails can be thick when you encapsulate. It's all about your technique. It's all about your technique. Thank you, Violet. So the products I used for this design were this one, and this is Shazam 33, our DDF Nails gel polish. So 2 layers of this. I also used the DDF Nails base gel. Where is that at? Where did I put it? It's around here somewhere. Oh, the base gel, the gel polish, and the DDF Nails Clear Builder Polish. And the gel, this was, let me get the glitter mix, you guys. Okay. This one is Seaside. These are our DDF Nails glitter pots by Johanna Pacheco. Oh, let me give y'all a sneak peek. We have 2 fall glitter mixes that I still need to do the photos and all the other stuff for the website. But these are our DDF Nails glitter pots for fall. So this one is Crisp Leaves and Pumpkins. And this one is Autumn Breeze. I cannot wait. I got to do some press-on nail tutorials. Glitter encapsulation, and most likely the glitter encapsulation, since we're going into fall, will be with 1 or 2 of these designs. So like I said, if you wanted to, thank you. Johanna is so talented. That is our glitter chemist. So that Seaside, this one right here, is the glitter mix. And can you guys see how smooth that is? There is not one lump on this nail. You cannot get down to that. There is the glitter, the builder polish is on top of it. So yes, you can thoroughly encapsulate with the builder gel, the builder polish, and it's so pretty. You see that holographic? That is so pretty. Okay, let me stop looking at that and put this back. Oh, goody. All right, so our other nail, in the meantime, has been cured. I'm going to go in with another layer of the DDF Nail Shine On, and this nail is done. If you wanted to, you can go ahead and you could do the matte if you wanted to, but this is about the actual kit, the products that are included in the kit. But if you wanted to do our no wipe velvet matte, you most certainly could, and your nails could just be matte. So it's all up to you on what you decide to do. If you wanted to put the glitter on, like I said, I would have encapsulated the glitter with the builder polish before even doing the filing and buffing. That way your nail is thinner. And I'm moving very fast. I done got this on the nail. Wipe it off. Do not cure that in the lamp at all. All right, and did I cap my tip? Not sure. And again, guys, if you find that your tip is a little thick, even after your encapsulate, after your top coat, you can always take that e-file and go right up under that nail to thin out that tip. So let's put this back in the lamp and we're good to go. That's it. That's everything for that. If you wanted to do some stamping on the nail, then you could actually stamp as well. You wouldn't have to wait. So there's a lot you can do with the nudes. We have 3 different nudes that you can choose from based off of your complexion. If you are lighter complected, I have one from Red Iguana. I missed the cuticle up on 2 fingers. I want Liz or Poochie's hand, but I wanted to learn how to polish. I highly, 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 highly recommend getting you some of the Poochie's Realistic Practice fingers. The reason being is because, to me, her cuticle area is so bomb that, to me, I find it will help you. Just remember, no matter what you are doing, use a safety bit. And a safety bit is like the ones with the rounded tip. The rounded tip. And even if y'all have questions about these, let me know. I've had all of mine for months now, and I've soaked off and did everything. I do not baby these fingers. As y'all can see, I use them like a realistic practice finger. I use them as if it's a real hand. I don't baby them. And mine look perfectly fine. Let's see. Where is... Let me get a new gel wipe, because this one has an inhibition layer. I almost forgot to take it off. I'm so used to using the Radiant Shine gel, DDF Nails gel cleanser, gel wipe. And a trick, you guys, you see how shiny this is? You could easily dull it down. So what you need to do is, now that this has sat in the lamp 30 to 60 seconds, leave your hands out of the lamp for another 30 to 60 seconds. The reason being is because you have warmed this gel polish up in the lamp, and when you take it out, it's still warm. So if it's still warm and you were to take this and press your hand on it, you're going to dull the shine. If you allow it to cool off, it's kind of like setting the nail the way that you want it to be. So let it cool off. If you put it in there for 60 seconds, let it cool off for 60 seconds. Thank you, Sue. I am so glad you're loving it. You guys know I am an advocate for dip nails. I don't care what anyone else says. I find this to be one of those things that gives you that in-between of both. It combines. It's basically like a dual purpose type of thing. And I find if you're at home or in a salon, it's really, really great. I like gel. I do like acrylic, but I get migraines, so monomer is a no-go for me, even though I do have my own line of acrylic powders and monomer. But I suffer from migraines, and you guys, if you've ever had a migraine, it is so uncomfortable. It feels so close to like it is life is over. So now that we've let this cool off and you've gotten your gel cleanser on your lint-free wipe, I highly recommend y'all change y'all gloves before doing all of this so that you're not getting all of this in there. But take this and tap it on the nail. So what you're doing is you're getting that sticky layer off by tapping. But as you can see, it's still super shiny. Now that you've done that, go ahead and wipe. Can y'all hear that? I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that thing is like squeaky, squeaky. Now you use this to get the nail to be really shiny. So if you ever get that dull look to your top coats, it's most likely because you took the nail out of the lamp and you went right in and tried to take that inhibition layer off. That's a trick that I learned, trial and error. And I figure if you just leave the nail alone, look at that shine. If you just leave the nail alone for like a minute after taking it out of the lamp, it's cooled down, and then you just pat that inhibition layer off first, and then you go in with your circular motions and rub, that is going to give you the best result for your top coat, whether it's the no wipe or if it's the inhibition layer. So we are done. That is how you use the DDF Nails AcryDip Kits. There are more AcryDip colors coming because I do have some fall colors that need to be done. Hopefully I can get all of this stuff done this week. I really enjoyed this with you all. I had fun. If there's not any more questions, I'm gonna get ready to go because I know this is going to take a long time to upload. Hopefully the playback won't take too long to come. Oh, I did tell you guys, so before I forget, let me write it down, and I have to make it active on the site as soon as the video is over. So everyone that watched this, and I'm going to have this end on Tuesday. Today is the 26th, 27th. So August 28th. Is when this sale ends. So I am going to do a code since today's my daddy's birthday. And we already did one for Mama Flawless. Papa Flawless is the code. So if you watch this, write this down. The code is going to be for 15% off your entire purchase. And you guys know at $40, I pay for your shipping. So there you go. That's the code, Papa Flawless, 15% off. And the code is going to be gone on August 28th. So give me a minute after this uploads to update the website to make that code active for you all. And if you didn't get something from the Mama Flawless sale, then you can use Papa Flawless for 15% off. You're welcome, Stacy. And that is for anyone who watched this. So I think I'm going to start doing that. In my videos, I'm about to start putting like hidden codes. If you look for the, thank you, Ida, you're welcome. If you look for the Instagram, if you're on our Instagram, I do a lot of sales on the Instagram. You're welcome, Sue. Thank you for purchasing my kit. I hope you continue to enjoy my products. I have so much more. You're welcome, Violet. Thank you. I have so much more I'm working on for you guys. I know you've seen this. If you guys do not have these, you're welcome, Sunny. If you guys don't have these, like these are mats that you could stamp on. If you don't have them in your workspace, definitely do, because guess what? All that dust and stuff that I just had, I'm going to just lift this up, dump it over my trash can, wipe everything down. I always use Lysol wipes or Clorox. I'm like obsessed with these things. Get my area together, okay? So yes, even though my clients are these fingers, I always make sure that I sanitize everything. If I can give you guys any more tips, keep your gel polish away from your lamp while it is on. Yes, ma'am. Love my Clorox wipes. Oh, they have the Sentiva ones. I was just at Target earlier with my twin. Oh, let me show y'all guys. I had bought this fall scent from Glade. It smells so good. I'm like so off track. Look, this is the Warm Flannel Embrace. I do not sleep. Oh my God, I didn't know it prints the time. Yes, honey, let me tell you something. I don't play when it comes to people's coins. If I wake up and there's a lot of orders, I try to get everyone situated on the weekends. Since it's been the summertime, I get my little self up, I get to work, and I get them orders out. Typically, I don't ship on the weekend, but I do still surprise you guys and still ship on Saturday mornings, depending on when the order was out. The post office closes early on Saturday, so it's impossible to get all the orders out. But I do try to get them done as fast as possible. I don't sleep as much as I should. And I'm definitely trying to learn how to slow down. But, you know, the line is still in its first year, so you know, it's just me and I gotta work to keep up on it. But you guys, get the Warm Flannel Embrace. If you like a cologne scent, I want to say, This smells so good. My twin put me onto this scent. It smells so good. Like, when I smell this, I just want to wrap up in a blanket and snuggle up with my husband. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm snuggling up with my husband in a blanket and he has on cologne. That's how I like this. So when I go home, I hope my husband does not say he don't like this scent, because I really am proud of myself and so excited to get this home so he can smell it. I am going to be putting up all my fall decor for the office, which won't be much. If you guys did not see the last the last 3 videos, I want to say, I think it was the last 3 videos. Before that, I did do a live video of the office, and I got a lot of views on that and not many comments. I don't know what's up with that. So if you guys watch the videos, please leave a comment and a thumbs up, even if it's just an emoji, because I don't know if it's just people watching a video and don't want me to know they're watching it, so they don't want to comment, or what's going on. But yeah. Oh, the one with me and my husband, that's a long one. That was fun. That was fun to film. It was different. It was a more chill, relaxed type of video. And we did actually get a couple more questions after that. I just have to figure out where in the world we're going to have time to film another video. But yeah, look, that's still super shiny. I love this. Love it, love it, love it. I love a good dip powder nail, and this looks like you built this nail with either builder gel or with acrylic, one of the two. So some people, they have their whims about dip powder because everyone's just taking their fingers and just dunking them in a container, but I'm showing you guys that is not the case. You do not have to do it that way. You can definitely provide this service for a client or for yourself. They can still have long. I love doing this on my natural nails. This is the easiest way to grow your natural nails out, to keep them protected. You can soak it off or you can refill it. Let me touch on that. So if you are going to refill this, say this grew out up to here, like this is your refill, you're going to take your e-file and you're going to, or your hand file, you're going to file this down. You're going to get that cuticle area very flush. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get the dust off. You can use a gel cleanser, or where is it? Like I said, you guys can use my nail prep. This is going to get the pH levels on your nails where they need to be. You definitely can use this. The prep, I don't recommend a primer with gel because I find that it's not necessary. It's so long as you are prepping. With gel, the less products on the nail bed, the easier it is. So if you want, you can go in with the DDF Nails prep, and then once you're done with that, you go in with the base gel. You're going to put the base gel on the natural part of the nail, and you can still brush it up. But because you're doing a refill, you're going to have a small layer of natural nail, but you still need that base gel on the nail. So you put the base gel down, you cure it, and then you go in with the clear builder polish, do that layer, cure it, and then you're going to go in with the additional layers of color. So that's how you will refill. You're basically going to do the same thing. It is going to be a smaller layer, and don't forget, you don't have to worry about building the nail up when you're doing the dip layers, because you can go back and build the nail up the way that you need to with the clear builder polish. This allows you to build the nail up and get a proper nail, so that you don't have to worry about cracking and splitting and all that other stuff. And as long as you're not using your nails like tools, then you should be good to go. So that's it. That is the code. Again, it's DivaDollFlawless. I know I write my F's backwards. That's just, I don't know. I've been doing this for years. And when I write my I's, they're always hearts. It drives my husband nuts. And technically my O's, I always write them with hearts too. So I don't know. Maybe that's just my prissy side, but that's how I write. But it is POPPAFLAWLESS. Yep, Lady and Mom, do it on your natural nails. very thin layers, but be sure that you do the clear builder and cure it first, so that this is what's on your natural nail in between the color layers. So if you want to switch the color out, you can always file all of that color off, and you're going to get down to this layer, and then you can switch the color out with you can switch it out. You can switch your color out. So if you want it nude this time and you want to do red or any other dip color, or try it with another acrylic color, then you definitely can. That's how you will refill or take it off. So that way you don't technically have to worry about filing off. And I think I may have missed comments. Oh, wait a minute. Crap. What did I do? Yeah, you can. Yeah, so even if you were to decide to soak it all off, right? File it down to a thin layer. I don't care what you use. Just, yes, I'm definitely keeping this live up. And I am still going to do a pre-filmed video speaking on this stuff, so that, you know, you can choose which one you want. Yeah, it'll be up. I'm not taking it down. So that's it. That's how you refill, change the color out. If you were to do glitter on this, then you could actually file the glitter layer off and still refill. Just do everything on top of this color, so that you always have the option to file down, which is actually a better option, so you're not always soaking your nails in acetone. But if you're soaking in acetone, please make sure to just take some cuticle oil and put it on your cuticles while you're soaking. So that helps with the acetone. But you guys, if you can get one of those steamers, do that, but do the lowest amount, because if you're not careful, the one thing I did not see anybody talk about with these steamers, yes, you most certainly can burn yourself. So I might have to do a review on one of the steamers. Oh, and the one thing we didn't show afterwards with all that dust was to take your little pretty confetti soap, sprinkle some of it in the glass dish with some warm water. Get that soapy going. YouTube hating. Say this is the water with the little confetti soap inside of it in your brush, and you're just going to brush all this dust off and then go in with your cuticle balm. So that's everything that's covered inside of the kit. So I love you all. This was so much fun. I really did enjoy myself, and I need to go on the website now so that I can make this active. If it's not active, please go on my Instagram. Yeah, they're acting like you're spamming. You know, Instagram does the same thing. If you happen to go on there, give me like 10 minutes. It really shouldn't even take me that long after this is over. But DivaDollFlawless will give you 15% off. 15% off your entire purchase. $40 or more I pay for your shipping, so that's really like a steal. And it's going to end on August 28th. You'll know it's over because you'll try to key the code in, and the website will not allow you to use it. So that's it. I love you all. Let me get ready to go. This is long enough. I will be keeping this live up. And thanks again for making my first live tutorial so much fun. Good night, everyone. Oh, please make sure that if you watch any of the other videos to like, comment, subscribe. We got to get this active stuff going, because I don't know what's going on, but a couple of my videos, the likes and the views aren't adding up to like the comments. It's like no comments but a bunch of views. And I am trying to start pushing on getting these numbers up. But I love you all. Good night, Shay. Good night, Ida. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.